Our guest today is Benjamin Nortey, the brilliant mind behind Mingo Blox. Benjamin's journey from his living room to global impact is nothing short of remarkable. As the creator of Ghana's first robot for autistic children, he's brought joy and support to countless families. In fact, we even met one. Beyond that, he's a familiar face on television, sparking curiosity and imagination as the producer and presenter of a popular TV series on robots. In his talk, From Dexter's Laboratory to Entrepreneurship, Nurturing Childhood Dreams into Reality, Benjamin shares how his passion for robotics revolutionized education with the world's most affordable educational robot priced at just $10. Mingo Blox is pioneering robotics in Ghana, envisioning a future where everyone can have a robotic companion. So here's an episode brimming with innovation with Ben's story of turning dreams into reality. We were surprised when he brought his robot to the stage.
So I want you to imagine this, that in the not so distant future, you might just find yourself saying, I do, to a robot. How would that feel? After all, they're already great at listening. They never forget anniversaries, and they are always up for a cuddle. Who knows? Love may just be binary. So get ready to update your relationship status to I'm committed to a robot. All right, that's just by the way. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm here to walk you on a journey, a path that I have taken over the years. And this actually came about as a result of some childhood experiences. So I want to find out, how many of you here ever watched Dexter's Laboratory? Okay, all right. So I guess you will be able to follow what I'm talking about. So for those who may not be familiar with the Dexter's Laboratory, it's actually an animated TV series that aired on TV in the 90s. It followed the story of a young genius boy. You know, his name is Dexter. He was actually an inventor. And in this series, it was filled with a lot of, inventions. You see him doing all kinds of amazing things, building robots, things about space and all of that. And most importantly, this particular character had an annoying sister called Dee Dee. Yes, so I was that little boy who grew up having a lot of love for cartoons. I love watching cartoons. I would sit behind the TV, and watch cartoons. But this particular one really caught my attention, especially seeing how, Dexter would typically go about conducting various kinds of experiments. And so for a moment, I just thought to myself, well, I could do this. So I actually grew up, full of anticipation, knowing that someday I'll just grow up, playing with machines. I loved everything about machine. I'm actually a machine guy. So typically when my parents buy me toys, what do? I just open it up. I want to see what is making it work. What is making it work? Why does the light turn on? I'll tear apart all the, electrical components and try to, figure out. I just wanted to figure out how things, work. So fast forward to today. Here I am living those childhood dreams. But just let me tell you a little bit about, what goes into running my robotics and AI company. Really, it's been a roller coaster. And I remember how this whole thing started back in college. So whilst in college, I studied computer science. And one thing that fascinated me is, taking a course in computer programming. And, I remember I could just write a line of code, and amazing things will happen, So for a moment, I just knew that, no, I'm just at the right place doing, the right things. And suddenly I saw myself, being that Dexter person, that Dexter personality that, I've always dreamt of becoming. And what even made it more exciting was when I met this American professor who came to my college, introduced us to robotics, the class of robotics, and I saw these amazing robots. These were like really, really cool robots. Your ability to interact. I mean, I'd never seen anything like that because, in all my wildest imagination, this is something I see on TV, but I came so close to, this. So this actually led me to pursue further studies in the field in robotics. And whilst still in college, I founded my first company. It's a software development company, which has evolved over the years. And today, here I am running Mingo Blox, that is typically into robotics and AI. And what we do is we build amazing machines. Like that dream, that childhood dream, now I see it come alive. And that hasn't stopped there. At first, when I was growing up, one of the things, by watching Dexter's and all these amazing cartoons, was I was going to see myself, at one point I thought I was going to become an astronaut because I used to see all those things on Dexter. Or, I was also contemplating becoming a jet pilot, a bomber jet pilot. So these were things that I grew up, imagining I could become. But through Mingo Blox today, I'm giving back to all children and helping them recreate their unique childhood. Because when I was a child, I saw myself becoming this genius who would, build machines, play with machines. And now fast forward, here I am, an adult, and I find myself in this. So what I'm trying to do now is helping, children to live in futuristic world. I want the children to live in futuristic world where anything is possible. Because just like Dexter, where I was seeing invention, I was seeing scientific, exploration. Now I feel I've got into a place in life, by virtue of experience, career exposure, and all of that. I can, recreate that opportunity for these young kids to be able to, live their dreams. And currently we are helping thousands and hopefully millions of children across the world to live their childhood dreams and prepare them for an exciting future of, possibilities. So whilst I give this background information, I also want to share with you, some amazing lessons that I have learned along the way. The first I want to talk about has to do with failure, because in this field of robotics, and just like watching Dexter's laboratory, it was full of things like failures. You see a lot of things not working. So there are times when you are in the lab performing experiments, things will just explode. You build a circuit and the thing won't work. And it's very typical of, machines. You can put in all the preparations, do all the things, the right things, but, things don't end up working the way it has to be. And this sometimes can be a very frustrating moment if you're an entrepreneur building systems like this. And for me, it's one of the key lessons that has also shaped my entrepreneurial journey, being able to learn from failures, because I've also, much as I've succeeded in many fields, I've also failed in many areas. I've started quite a number of startups. Some did well, others also failed. And so in this journey of entrepreneurship, one of the things that you're going to be dealing with all the time is dealing with failure. And every failure is a lesson in disguise. And sometimes what that disaster can teach you is to improve your methodologies, to improve how you do things, and you get better and better. The next thing I want to talk about is imagination. Imagination is everything. Sometimes when you watch cartoons, it's full of imagination. I remember watching one of those series where Dexter wanted to, enter a door. He didn't get, there was actually no physical door, but he managed to draw a door, and it became a door, and he was able to, exit. And so part of the lessons that you learn as an entrepreneur is being very imaginative, because you need a lot of imagination to create all these interesting gadgets and devices. And what we are also doing is helping children to be able to harness their imagination to put it into some very productive use. So the next thing I want to talk about also is the team work. Having to do things like this requires a lot of expertise in different fields. Somebody with music background, we need them to work in the field. Somebody with communication background has to work in the field. Engineers, artists, designers, all manner of people. And so you realize that in the field, you need to team up with people. You need people to work with. And one thing about teamwork is through the collaboration, you are able to bring out the best of ideas, because most of the time, the best of ideas have come from sometime during casual conversations. And for me, I cherish those moments a lot. And the other lesson that I want to share with you is having to, being able to work with what you have. Typically in Ghana, when you talk about robot looks like something really foreign. And so, as you saw in the presentation, I used to make robots with scraps, So typically in our environment, at the time, I didn't have access to resources, but I needed to, build these amazing machines. So as a proof of concept, I need to use, now that I have very sophisticated machines, 3D printers, and do all those models before you are able to produce your final product. But within the environment, I also found out that there are so many things that, are discarded. So in my home at the time, I never let anything go waste, from cardboard bottles. So I had a pile of scraps. And these were good resource that I needed. Those are my raw materials. For you, you may think that this is, just some scraps. But for me, I needed this. So one of the key lessons, through this and throughout this entrepreneurship journey is learning how to make good use of the things that you have so you can progress. So as I stand here today, I'm reminded of the journey that brought me here, a journey that started with cartoons and dreams, a journey that has taught me invaluable lessons and the power of believing in myself. And now I'm on a mission to inspire the next generation of innovators. Currently, one of the things that we're doing is a project called the One Robot Per Child. So the idea is that we want every child to have access to robots. I want every child to become, they may end up becoming any other thing, but I want them to, have an idea of how systems, machines work. Because in our recent fourth industrial revolution, where our children are going to grow up to interact with devices, gadgets, self-driving cars, regardless the kind of profession that, you choose, you're definitely going to have to interact with robots. So these have been some really key lessons that I have learned across the years of my entrepreneurship journey. So thank you so much for listening to me this morning.